Hey everyone, welcome back to Quayzar's Customs. I am Hurst Quayzar. Today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I've been asked about doing an editing video, so I've looked at the showroom cars and I think I've picked one out that we are going to completely modify. I shouldn't say modify, I should say just edit in the editor for Car Mechanic Simulator. But before I can do any type of editing, I need to do some file adjustments. So what you have to do is find your cars folder. So for myself, it is in the C drive, program files, x86, Steam, go to Steam apps, go to common, Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, CMS 2018 data, and go to streaming assets, and then you have your cars. So now what we're going to do is we are going to find the Mayan M6. Yeah, I'm saying that right. The Mayan M6. As you can tell, there is only one config file in here, so Red Dot only has one config for this car. We want to do some editing to it, so we're going to do another config file. Now, word of caution on this. I am going to create a config file 1 and a body config file 1 for this edit and for this video. If for some reason Red Dot or Playway decides to do another configuration of the M6, it will overwrite your game files. So if you like the edit that you're going to do and you want to keep it, I suggest making 2 or 3 config files, and then the last config file be the one you edit. And we'll name these, and I'll show you. You may want to name them so you know which one's which. So the config file, we're just going to open it up, and we're going to save as config file 1. Now these are in sequential order, so you have to do config file 1, config file 2, config file 3. And for every config file, you need a body config file. So we'll save this as body config 1. All right, now we have both the body config file here and the config file here. If you open up the config file, you will see, this kind of opened up nice for me. Right up here, car version name. This is where you can name the vehicle. You can also name it, I believe, in the car editor itself. We'll take a look at that once we get in there. So I'm just going to name this Sleeper. You'll see why when we get into the M6. So we'll name this Sleeper, and we will save. And that's all the file manipulation that you really need to do. Now, jump out of there, and let's jump into the car editor. In the Steam community, if you're logged into Steam, go to Play Car Mechanic Simulator, and then right here, launch Game Editor. And then, let's launch it. Alright, we are finally inside the editor. It does take a little bit to load, so once you go to launch the car editor, be patient, it will load. Now, by using your WASD keys and your mouse, alright, so W key and holding down the left mouse button, right mouse button. You zoom in with the W, zoom out with the S. And the A and D is side to side, like so, holding down the right mouse button, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to find our car that we want to edit. So it's in alphabetical order. Each one of them have a car underscore. So we're looking for the Mayan 6. Mayan M6. So we'll click on that, give it a few minutes, and it'll load up. Like I said, you have to be very patient with the editor once you get it all loaded up, or allow it to load. All right, so this is the M6. Yeah, it's a wagon. So this is going to be a sleeper wagon for us. Yeah, so we're going to do a few things. Car stripping over here, I would not advise doing that because it takes the parts off the car. Explode car just does exactly what it says. It just opens everything up. You can click on it and then close it back up. Sit inside. Just with your right mouse button, you can sit inside, take a look around. Click it on again, or hit escape. Let's see, how do I get out of this car now? Oh, I don't know how to get out. So we can change the color to whatever you like. And I believe, honestly, this is the car color that it will be. Well, we'll make it red. How's that? All right. Down here you can change the sky. I kind of like it just a plain old thing. Show body. This takes the body away so you can see the underneath. This is your rust scale, what it looks like all the rust when it's all rusted up. I don't remember how to get out of the car. Huh. So let's reload it. DIMS and MAM in 6. First time this has happened. I don't remember how. I don't think I've ever actually sat in the car before. Let's go ahead and load up the sleeper. I can't get out of the damn car. There we go. All right, so with the colors, we're just going to keep it red for right now. But, I mean, for the most part, all of them just come in white. So we'll just leave it white. How's that? Get rid of that. Okay, so like I said, show body, not show body. Sky, show lifter. It shows where the lifter is going to hit the car. That's about all it does. So those are the basics. I don't know what auction car means. Generate car, generate all car thumbs. All this stuff over here, I believe that is for a modder to take care of. I would not use any of that. I highly recommend you stay away from these. So what we are going to do, first things first, as you see, this is a front wheel drive car, and honestly, I'm not happy with that. I'm just not happy with it. So what we are going to do is I am going to do a couple of things. Oh, excuse me. We'll go right into suspension. See right here, you could probably name it right here. I have not tried that yet, but you could probably, put the sleeper in there. This gives you the scale, and this is pretty much your suspension. Down here you have rear height. This is front height, rear height, and front spring length. I'll get into that in a little bit. And then you have front track and rear track. Your track is how wide your wheels are extended beyond the wheel wells. I'll show you real quick here. So you see where the rear wheels are, right? Rear wheel track, if I were to decrease this, puts them in even more. If I put it down to 1.0, brings them in. So you always have to find that nice sweet spot. And we are going to do that right now because I want to know. I want to put the largest wheels on here I can. So I'm going to go to wheels. Rim Classic 2, that's fine. Sport Tire 2. I'm going to put a set of 19s on it. And then this is messing with the front end here. So 19s on the front, 19s on the back. Right. 40? Yeah, 235 40 is okay. back. We're going wide, boys. We're going wide. So let's see how that looks. So a 40 is not very good. We'll go with 35. That doesn't look too shabby. All right, so just real quick, 235 is basically your how wide the tire is. Your 40 is your profile from rim to ground, right? Or rim to tire. That's your profile. And 19 is the size of the rim. So if I were, let's get this rear wheel. I went from a 19 to a 20 to a 22. See, it gets really ridiculous. So you can get but put that 19s. We'll put 19s on it. Whatever you think looks best. Now that we have my tires set up of what I think I'm going to need, I'm going to go to the suspension area and I'm going to lower it. Reason why I do this is I always want to set up the stance first on the car because it messes everything else up, and you want to have the stance where you want it before you go messing with the other parts. That's my opinion. So my stance, I'm going to go. I want to slam it. Yeah, why not? Let's see how well we can do this. We'll see that 0.19, 0.18. Now, it looks okay. Let's explode the car. Take a look on the inside. It does not look like the tires are actually into the interior, so we're not cutting into that any. So that's good. And a quick look underneath. Got some pretty fat meats in there, and it's tucked in. Using your track, you can tuck them in to the wheel wells as we've lowered it. So that doesn't look too bad. We can actually, yeah, we've got that so far in right now. That's about as far as that's going to go in. So we are about as wide as we can be with that track. All right, so if you like what you're seeing right now, go ahead and hit the save button down here. Every time you do a slight edit that you like, hit save. If any time you do an edit, you don't like it, or you screw something up, you hit a wrong button, just back out of the editor altogether, hit Alt Tab, then right click on the little icon in your window and close it. Alright, I made a mistake and hit reload on this, so I'm back at it again. At least I saved it for the stance. Remember I was telling you to save it. I actually hit this reload button down there, and it just reloaded car, and now I'm back to starting all over again. So we're going to, first things first, now that we've got the stance, the first thing we want to do is take care of the engine. So we're going to show the body, we're going to explode the car so we can see what we have going on in here. I'm not going to worry about these springs. First and foremost, we're just going to take care of the engine. So the engine I want to run into it is just the regular standard V8 engine. Looks like it's too far forward, and that's fine. Scale 1:1. So engine 1, car model 1. So that's kind of important. This magnifying glass, you can touch on that, and you'll get these little arrows. You can move the engine back and forth. So I'm going to move it in about a little bit there, and it seems like it is off center a little bit, doesn't it? We're going to move it in. It looks like center. I think that's going to be the center right there. So we'll just zero it out. So the X position up here, I zeroed it out, and I'm going to raise it a little bit. All right, under the parts section, we'll get the brake pieces back here because I want to change these around. Brake pump, grab that magnifying glass again. Then we're going to move that puppy up and over. Yeah, it looks good. ABS. Now sitting way down here, and it's sitting kind of cockeyed, so we want to change that around. It's in about 90% right now, so we're going to change that to 0. It should bring it, crap, what did I do? If we bring it to 0, 0.00. This should put us pretty close to where we need to be. And if I'd put 0 in there instead of an O, it'd be great. All right, so we've got that, and we're going to move this over a little bit just to keep it out of the side. All right, so we've got the engine in it. I think we're good to go with that. I think I want to bring the engine up a little bit. I did click on the engine to bring it up a little bit, so we'll see what we have. See what it looks like later. All right, now for the bottom here. This is a front-wheel drive car, so we are going to do away with the front-wheel drive altogether. And what we're going to go back to is the suspension. And we're going to look at the front. The front center is this center section. Then you have left and right, which are your wheels and how they're driven. So you could play around a little bit and you can see what you have, but when you get to like front right down here, this is your short differential powered. So right from here down, this one down are your different wheel types. So you got front right. Let's see if I can get you in here so you can see what's going on here. What do I do? Front right, yeah. Then you have like double wishbone. So where'd the spring go on that? That's kind of crazy. There's usually a spring in there. Kind of nuts. Then there's a wishbone 3, depending on the configuration. I am going to go, if you see it on here, air suspension. Now the front's not going to be powered, so we're going to keep it that way. Front powered, we are going to go air suspension. So I've just changed over here. So you can see that our suspension's changed. Now we need to set up our centerpiece so it matches everything else up. So from that to center 2, I have to take a look here. Squeeze around here. So center 2 is not too bad, but what's not matching up is our steering shaft here. And that's kind of going through the transmission anyway. And our inner and outer tie rods. So let's see. Let's go. 4x4 is not going to work. Center empty, empty 2. Empty just makes it disappear. Empty 2 makes it disappear even more. And I don't know what the heck that's for, because it takes out everything. So let's go center leaf powered. This is, like for the old trucks and stuff. Front center old. Oh, this might be our ticket right here. Steering shaft is just barely clipping the oil pan there. But everything's connected, which is good. All right, just a quick look on the inside of the car. We don't have the transmission clipping through, but the framework is, and that's sad. I didn't like that at all. Not happy with that, but oh, what the heck happened? There we go. Yeah, I'm not entirely thrilled with that. And the only way to do that is to raise the front end, and I want it sleepered. I want it slammed like that. So, just for intents and purposes, we could actually, keep playing around with this front center set and the left and front, the front and right, the front left and right sides to get to match up. But I'm going to leave it as it is right now. We are going to move on to the back. And because this is a rear-wheel drive car, we are going to need a rear-wheel drive setup. So we're going to change our wheel setups first. And because I've got air suspension on the front, I'm going with a air suspension powered on both the right and left-hand sides. So we are set up for that. And it looks like the suspension might be okay the way this is. Yeah, maybe not. Nope, because this is a flat center. So what we are going to look for is this is a leaf. So these are leaf springs. It's a center powered. That might be our ticket guy right there. So there's different ones that you can do. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. Drive shaft, because this is a rear-wheel drive car, we need a drive shaft. So we'll check that box. And where's your drive shaft at? Somewhere in here in tuning, or the logic. Oh, logic. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Other. Other. This is going to be a rear-wheel drive vehicle. So now that we've got rear-wheel drive assembled, should be able to go into drive shaft and add it. I'm hoping. The first time I've actually done this. That is not what I wanted to do. Let's see here. All right, so make a value of 1. We'll put the drive, we'll add it in. There's our drive shaft. Our length value is how long it is. So we will keep it at 1.5 for right now to see how that is. Now we got to rotate this puppy around. And let's see here. Now, 180. Where'd she go? Trying to find it. 90. Where'd it go? $70. Trying to rotate this puppy around and I can't seem to find what I'm doing here. Go high in the sky. Alright, let's just go 0. There we go. There it is. Alright, so we want to kind of bring this around. We'll figure out how to do this. So your y-axis will go 90. And if I can get this. It's all part of that assembly now. I don't know why it's not giving me the arrows this time around. So at net. So this is probably the most difficult part, is trying to figure out where this goes. We'll go mess with the length here a little bit. Oh, drive shaft. Oh, why it's not there? It is. Okay, so I had to click off of it and then click back into it again. All right, so we're going to set up this drive shaft, and I believe what you need to do is actually set the rear end first. So we'll set the value is 1, so this should mate up pretty good. So this looks pretty close. Tweak it around a little bit, and then you should be able to. I have to say it is the z-axis here. Nope, that takes it down to the bottom. Maybe it's the z-axis. Nope. So that doesn't work. Let's make sure I didn't screw that up. Y-axis. That brings the whole thing up. Oh, I lost it. There we go. 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 5. I swear you had to put the back in first. But let's see how this goes. Alright, so it looks like we will assemble the front end first. So we will take this, we'll match it up to the engine down here. As much as possible. Right? Slide it in a little bit. That's pretty close. Taking a look at it, could probably come down a little bit. That's good. Now we are going to bring the tail down a little bit here. So we are going to use that z-axis and line up the back. So here's the drive shaft. We'll get down to 4, 3, 2, 1. That doesn't work. And being 0.00 doesn't work. So we're going to have to go negative 1. Negative 2. That looks pretty close. We'll extend the length out here. Wow, I went 1.9. I think that puppy is. I think I went a little too far, huh? All right, so we'll go 1.8. I reckon 1.8 and 1.9. Okay, 1.8, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, that's close. So we're gonna go 3. Hey, that looks. So using both the arrows and X, Y, Z positions, you can fine tune what you get going on here. Now I did connect everything and I didn't really take a look and see if the engine was going to be. Engine is kind of floating around in here. But I'm fine with that. At least it's not doing some heavy clipping, and I'm happy with it. All right, so we've done all that. Now let's look at the exhaust. We'll go back into the parts editor, and we have the exhaust. We don't have downpipes, so we're going to have to add downpipes. This little orange plus button we'll add. It says dummy. And we'll look for some downpipes. And we're looking for downpipes for the V8. Where did they go? I have no idea. Here they are. Bring them up. Come over. And, you know, their value is 1.00, so it should match up pretty good. Line these puppies up inside there. Get a closer look. Not bad, not bad. And they fit right inside of there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so how does it look from underneath? Let's show the body. Oh my god, I couldn't have asked for a better setup on this. Okay. We are going to trash the old exhaust D. So we are just going to use the red X here. Boom. Gandhi. Let's save our progress so far. All right, thinking that's working out pretty good for us so far. Now we need an exhaust system. We are going to add, and for the most part, for these cars, you have several exhaust systems to choose from. The Challenger Hellcat one, though, isn't going to fit because you see how that's set up, right? Just is not going to fit up. So that's fine. So Challenger Hellcat's not going to work. All these other exhaust systems, for the V8s that come down like this and straight out, your best bet is one of these puppies here. Now we can go with this type of a setup, or yeah, let's go with that type of setup, V8A. So we will select on that, bring that in as close as possible. Now I'm watching where the connection is for the exhaust pipe. That's pretty good. I've kind of narrowed it down right in there. Yeah, pretty good seal. Problem is though, is there is a huge gap between the rear end and this, and if I show the body, this thing's sitting down way too far. So what I want to do is bring it up a little bit, and I believe, let me show the body, unshow the body. Let's see, which one is this? X brings it up. So I'm going to bring it up. Let me take a look at the body here. 5.5. Don't know what I just made 5. Okay, so 5 is good. 6 is better. 7, 8, 9. I think we're going to go with the 9. And the reason why I wanted to go with this is because it will give me a little extra boost with the exhaust system setup. And I'll show you real quick. This should consist of the V8 muffler, which is in the tuning parts, the exhaust pipe, which is in the tuning parts, the middle muffler in the performance parts, and the catalytic converter. This gives you a whole lot of everything. Now, because I adjusted it up, it is going to throw this one off a little bit, so I am going to have to bring it down. And you have to tweak these, you know, as much as possible. Oops, went too far. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Go back to check where we're at with the body. Yeah, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. Okay, so 9's not going to do it. We'll go a full 1. 0.5. 5's too much. 2. 1.100. That works. We'll go back to the front of the exhaust system. And it did shove it off a little bit, but see if you can bring this down a little bit and far back. There we go. And the exhaust system doesn't look like it's clipping anything. It's high enough off the ground. Yeah, I am pretty happy with that. Saving my status so far. All right, is this where I want it? Yeah, this is about where I want it. Now I need to add another exhaust pipe because this is a dual exhaust system. So I'm going to add another part. I'm going to add exhaust A, exhaust V8A, right? And I'm going to make it a reflection. Making it a reflection, it'll make it just the opposite of what it is. And I'm going to emulate these numbers from below here up here, so I have a pretty good idea of where this thing is going to sit. So we're just going to transpose some of these numbers over here. Okay, as you can tell the exhaust system is just about lined up. Now you see how we have the bins here, right? Now if I did not do the reflection, it matches. So this just is a mirror reflection of what you have going on. That is pretty close. Match, and X rotation 1.1. And checking all my fittings. All my fittings look good. Come back here to the back, show the car body, and they look like they're in pretty good shape too. So we've changed the suspension. We've changed this from a front-wheel drive car to a rear-wheel drive car. We've slapped in a V8. We've rearranged some of this stuff in here. Our cooling is good. I like it, but I want to increase it a little bit. So it's cooling 2, so we're going to go with a 1.2 cooling fan. Just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. The air filter, I want to move it out of the way a little bit. Right? Battery, same thing. Click on it, move that over a little bit. And I'm thinking this thing needs a transmission cooler, but there's really no way to get into it. I don't think. I think it'd be kind of hard to get into it. Now unless I take the radiator out, that might be a good idea. Okay, so we're going to add one more piece. We are going to go with an intercooler. So we're going to look through our list of parts here, and we're going to go with a large intercooler. Find out where that's at. There it is. Lift it up. Bring it all the way over. And we're actually going to display it right down here. Let's make sure that where are you? There you are. Hopefully when we go to find this and build it, we can find it. So that's pretty cool right there, I think. Yeah. So we've put an intercooler in it. Click off that. What else can we do with it? Well, for the interior, we could actually change the interior around if you wanted to. Change the steering wheel. So you would go up here to interior. It gives you leather seats, front, right, rear, and the bench positions, and the steering wheel. But these are actually, the front seats are actually pretty easy to change in the game itself. Can't really change the back seats, but I can probably let's see. We just made it dummy. We just take out the back seat altogether. Oh, I see. We've got something coming through here. That's our drive shaft. That is our drive shaft coming through. So that's a little painful. We'll put our bench back in here. Oh, we can actually put it with the light gray seats. How's that? That sounds like a plan. Well, I don't care myself, but I mean the seats can be changed if you want to change them around. That's the leather 2. Leather 1 is the brown. Oh my gosh, the brown is awful. Brown is just awful. So we're just going to stick with this, the plain old black. So yeah, unfortunately, because we've slammed it, we do have some cutting through with these are the mufflers and this is the drive shaft, unfortunately. But that is basically editing in a nutshell. Go ahead and close this car up. And we have a station wagon that's a sleeper. Went for a front wheel drive to a rear wheel drive. I've scoped everything out a little bit. So I'm hoping that your editing adventures go well. If you see any tips or tricks, hey, give me a shout on the Facebook page or down in the comment section, and I'll try to get it on here. Until then, happy editing. This is Hurst Quayzar, and I am out.